There aren't enough of us so far on the call. Hello.
Yellow.
Prepared. Thank you. Bye. My business cards are ready for pickup.
Good. I was wondering when that was going to happen.
Thank you. It's important that I do those things on occasion. I have my video stopped so you don't watch me eat. Not that you haven't watched me eat in person, but somehow it's different when there's a camera in your face.
Vice Mayor Goodman, can you hear us?
I can now, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And
Sorry
I'm
about
here.
that. I took roll. We have everyone that's on WebEx currently. I have you listed as present.
Thank you.
Chair, we're ready to proceed.
Okay, now we're ready. First item on the agenda today is public comment. The public will be provided an opportunity to address the joint boards on non-agenda items and all action items for the joint RPTA and Valley Metro meetings. Up to 3 minutes will be provided per speaker unless the chair allows more at their discretion, which I will not. A total of 15 minutes for all speakers will be provided. Pat, do we have any speaker cards?
Yes, sir. Today we have Mr. David Medina. Hi, sir. Will you please come up to this microphone?
What will happen is when you get ready to start, this will light up green. When you have 1 minute left, it'll be yellow, and then it's time to stop this. I have 3 minutes.
Wisdom gave me punishment for not doing it.
Okay.
Punished me to meeting training that I did.
Hello, my name is David Medina, and I'm here to talk about the bus situations and basically customer service, their drivers, and the actions that they do. So for the past 4 days, I've been basically very, very late to work, and I'm on the verge of losing my job once more again. And for the past 3 years, I've seen this pattern continue on. And nobody ever takes accountability for it. Buses pretty much do what they want, whenever they want. They show up at the time they want to show up, if they show up at all. The application never has anything that that can tell you what's going on. Or they never inform you when the buses are out of service or anything. And basically, when you call customer service, nobody helps you out with that, anything at all. I've filed over about, I would say in the last 3 years, 20 to 30 reports, all asking for my contact information, phone number, email address. I've never received once any kind of feedback from Valley Metro or anyone. And honestly, I'm the type of person that likes to let things work out on their own and trust people and have faith that people will do what's right. But it's gotten to the situation where I'm even afraid to go to job interviews or even show up to them because of that one question that they tell me about reliable transportation. And every single time I tell them that it's the bus, I'm literally taken out of being a candidate for that job in any sort of way. So that's why I'm here today. And honestly, as you can see, I'm probably the only public speaker here today. And that's another reason. It's because the public is scared. They're scared of Valley Metro and they're scared that nothing's going to change or happen. Because it's not just me. I've spoken with many other people on the bus that have had situations that are similar and they have all told me the same thing. The only reason they stop doing anything is because they've always gotten the same response I've gotten. And that's why I'm here today. So thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you, Mr. Medina. What bus line do you take? Where are you taking?
So I normally take the bus, the 35th Avenue bus to Metro Parkway, and from there I take the rail to the airport where I work.
So it's getting from where you live to the light rail.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Mr. Medina, staff is here and will speak with you today so that we can get information and take action.
All right,
Thank you for your presence today and your
Thanks.
comments.
Thank you. Any other speaker cards?
Miss Diane Barker.
Good afternoon. My name's Diane Barker, and I'm a patron of the bus system and the rail and my bicycle. And I was out at the Capitol today, that kind of contentious, when this election is coming up and there is mistrust in the counting of the votes. So they had a bill there that the Secretary of State basically had reasons why not to do precinct counting. Anyway, you'll hear about it, but we're getting the Regional Area Road Fund to be on that ballot. And I know people here are looking for it to supplement our local money so that we can have a better transit system. In regards to Mr. Medina, I give him credit for coming here. I've never met the gentleman, but I can certainly understand. Have lived in 7 cities in the valley, and I came out here without a car. I was in real estate. I had a car, but cars get expensive. And I came out here with no job, and so I started using the bus system. The more I used it, the healthier I got. I couldn't stand the smell of gasoline. So I know it gets a little bit weird, but I was saving money and I was able to have my own place, be independent and afford my lifestyle without car ownership. So what I want to say is that I've made the system work for me. I believe in the system, and I know that our buses don't always come on time, but let me just say this, they're never supposed to be fast. If they're fast, they're operating on their own to go get a smoke break or something. The thing is, there are problems, and we know we have bottlenecks. We need to really look at the whole system. I've said this with the city, and I was over there when they voted to make the Capitol extension, which I think that it's the wrong thing. If we don't watch out where we're going, we could end up there. Now, what you need to do is, I've been up there to Metro Center. You got buses there and everything. Start using your buses. Need to get BRT going and get down on 17, bring it down. RPTA study, I tried to get that from you guys. I'm still that where you'd have a drop off right at the new Lindsay Tunnel, new named, and access light rail. We need to look at, why do we need it all at grade? And I'm putting in a public records because this is what I'm saying, is our costs have gone up. I want to know the bus costs. I'm going to listen to this, but I want the rail costs because we have accidents. The woman got killed over at 16th and Washington, but we have a lot of these accidents. You hear about newspaper, then you don't hear anything because it goes to attorneys and the risk management to settle. I've heard that the automobiles don't carry enough insurance. So who's paying for it? It's got to be the public. We need to look at what we are doing. The whole idea that everything should be at grade, this city should have monorail, if anything, and going around it. So anyway, thank you. I wanted to
Ms.
speak
Barker,
on
your
some,
time is up.
thank you.
Thank you.
I will be putting the public record.
Thank you. Any others, Pat? Okay, item 2 on the agenda is the Chief Executive Officer's report.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Thank you for your time this morning. I do have a handful of items to provide you with updates on today. Last week, we celebrated with the city of Avondale and the opening of the Avondale Transit Center. This is a project that Valley Metro supports. We delivered this project through our job order contract. This transit center includes 2 bus bays for both buses and microtransit vehicles, bus furnishings, and pedestrian connections to the adjacent parking garage. So congratulations to City of Avondale. Councilmember White. Valley Metro has also been partnering with City of Phoenix on zero emissions fleet transition. And last month, we did submit under FY24 the lower no emissions grant opportunity on a joint application between our 2 organizations. The Valley Metro portion of that grant application included 20 diesel electric hybrid buses, 12 battery electric buses, infrastructure units, and upgrades to the Mesa facility, plus workforce development. That's training for the teams who would operate and maintain this equipment and these vehicles. The Valley Metro portion of this grant request totaled $25.7 million, including a local match of $4.15 million. The total federal request, and this is inclusive of the City of Phoenix portion of the grant, was about $73.6 million. We expect to hear before fall on this particular timeline. Moving to Valley Metro Rail, we are now at about 82% complete on the South Central extension. We're currently laying about 1,300 linear feet of track a week. That is a pretty quick clip. We have over 260 craft workers out in the field every single day. They're working between 55 to 58 hours a week. So high level of effort. Our most productive track laying day was 1,800 feet laid in a single day recently. We're working to power up all of the traction power substations right now, and every single station is under construction. We are on track to open in spring, summer of 2025. We're also working on heat mitigation strategies throughout the corridor, which continues to be served by bus every single day. So bus stops have moved in response to construction, and before those permanent shelters are in place, you'll find temporary canopies are placed along the South Central corridor. We're talking a lot about how much track we're laying and the progress that we're making on the project, but I wanted to share a little information with you on the impact we're having to the community. We know that the biggest impact that we deliver as Valley Metro is through mobility. We're providing trips, we're promoting economic development, but we're also contributing to workforce. And this particular project has an extensive workforce development plan focused on South Central communities. So to date, we're tracking, along with our partner Kiewit, the zip codes of all of the workers who are contractors and subcontractors on the project. And South Phoenix workers have delivered over 263,000 hours on this particular project. The total craft hours are performed almost 73% by minority workers. And to date, over 3,400 workers have been hired to deliver construction and craft services associated with this project. So this is an important point that I want to highlight as we think about delivering mobility, but also delivering upward economic mobility through the provision of jobs and skilled training. Another note, art is a big part of all of our construction projects. You'll see here some of the artwork that's being placed at our stations along South Central. The lower left has already been placed at Buckeye and Central, and this sculpture is called The Giving Tree. It's beautiful. I hope you'll have the opportunity to see it. Other pieces of art are in the process of being manufactured and installed at stations throughout the corridor. Moving on, looking out across the entire system, including bus and rail, our fare collection system modernization continues. We now have ticket vending machines. At least one has been installed at every single one of our light rail stations. Now we're working on making a second pass of ticket vending machines. We have 59 installed to date. We'll continue that progress and finish over the course of the summer. Beginning in July, new fare boxes at last will be installed on our buses, and that'll take place, I believe, over about up to a 90-day period of installing and testing those fare boxes everywhere. We are conducting an extensive public outreach effort across the valley, educating our customers and getting fare media in their hands and ready for the new fare collection system. I know we've talked a lot about this and the challenges with our antiquated TVMs and boxes, so we're pleased to deliver new equipment. Back on South Central, we hosted our third Fiesta on Central on April 20th. This was a great event. We had over 350 people. We had more than 30 vendors selling goods and services and excellent food. VMR Chair, Councilwoman Pastor, as well as our newly appointed District 7 Council Member Carlos Galinda Alvira joined and celebrated with us. It was a great day. It's wonderful to share the progress on this important project. We look forward to our next Fiesta on Central, which will take place this fall. Inside Valley Metro, one of our strategic initiatives, as you'll recall, is investing in talent. And I wanted to share a highlight that I've been particularly excited about. Valley Metro has long been a participant in a program called ENOMAX. ENOMAX is a cooperative exchange between transit agencies, but typically big agencies across the US, where 3 agencies work together and a cohort group from each visits the other properties. And they learn a lot about the in-depth operations of that organization. We decided to bring that concept home, and we developed a curriculum and program called VMAX. The purpose of this program is to provide cross-disciplinary training to team members within Valley Metro. Transit's a unique industry, and we often have to home grow our talent. VMAX is an important part of our employee development, but also our succession planning programs. Individuals visited facilities and departments across the organization, from rail car maintenance to accounting, to learn about what we do and how we do it. They also began to form relationships with counterparts across the organization that they might not otherwise cross paths with often. So we've taken feedback from our VMAX participants, which was really positive. It was just such a wonderful program. They graduated last month, by the way, and we'll make some small adjustments to that program. And we'll have another VMAX cohort group running through the program, which is about a 3-month effort over the course of the fall. So well done to our marketing communications, our human resources team for developing this content. I think it's so wonderful and exciting. And this is an important part of our organizational sustainability. That concludes my remarks. We do want to look ahead at the calendar. We will be back in this room on June 20th for a final board meeting of the fiscal year. That will be preceded by TMC RMC on June 5th and AFS on June 6th. We do have a scheduled recess for the month of July, though the TMC RMC RTAG March for the August cycle will actually begin during the month of July. That concludes my report. May I answer any questions?
Does anyone have any questions? I do want to give a brief shout out to Ken Kessler, presented yesterday with his counterpart from Phoenix Transportation to the Transportation Policy Committee on the new fare collection system. They did a great job. So the cross-discipline that we're starting to see between Valley Metro and MAG has kind of begun, and not that it hadn't existed before, but I want to give a shout out to Ken for a good job yesterday. Thank you for that. No other questions. We will move on to item 3, which is the Audit and Finance Subcommittee update. Vice Mayor Goodman.
Yeah, thank you, and hope you can hear me. If not, it'll be a really quick report. The Audit and Finance Subcommittee met on May 2nd. We received Chief Financial Officer's update, where Mr. Kessler provided an update on PTF revenues. Also an internal audit update, and over the past month, internal audit completed its internal safety and security audit of safety element number 6, which has to do with Valley Metro Rail Hazard Management Plan. Additionally, there are 2 more safety and security audits in progress. Received FY24 third quarter budget review from Mr. Olson, and an FY 2025 operating capital budget information for Valley Metro RPTA and Valley Metro Rail from Mr. Kessler. And we will have a June meeting of AFS. There'll be an executive session to conduct a performance review of the Chief Audit Officer. And AFS committee members are encouraged to attend in person. And that meeting will be June 6th at 12 noon. Mr. Chair, that concludes my report.
Awesome. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Does anybody have questions for the Audit and Finance Subcommittee? Okay. Next item on the agenda is the actual consent agenda. Items 4A, 4B are presented for our consideration. If there are no questions, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda.
A motion in a second.
Second.
Nope, third.
Oh, Monica, did you say? Okay, I'm sorry. So we have a motion in a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The ayes have it. Item 5 on the agenda is presented for our information, which is the travel and expenditure report. Does anybody have any questions from that?
I have a couple questions, Chair.
Councilmember White.
Sorry, give me just a moment. I'm locating the information on the report. I noticed a triplicate of expenses there. I just wanted to make sure we clarified that. Thank you for your patience. You know, I go through this in detail, so I just want to make sure I get to the right line item for everyone. Okay.
While you're looking, if there was ever any doubt that you were going to escape the hearing eyes of Bill Stipp, I'd like to introduce you to Councilmember Max White.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Oh,
So no one's getting off the hook.
you trained me well, sir. You trained me well. So we can go to the items for March 2024. If you look at payment number ending 35, 50, and 51, those are all fixed route bus services, City of Phoenix. One's paid on March 1st, two are paid on March 8th. The ones on all three items are the exact same dollar amount, which always causes a former banker concern. I just want to clarify and make sure those are three different expenses and make sure the payment on the 8th twice is not a duplicate inadvertently. It's for,
He's on it.
yes, thank you. 5.4 million is the item amount.
Thank you, Councilmember White. I'm going to invite Ken Kessler, our Chief Financial Officer, to answer that question.
Hi, great question. Actually, that's, we pay Phoenix for service that they operate, that's funded with PTF. And that was just catching up for 3 quarters worth of billings on that. So they had not previously billed us, so we're just getting caught up for the year.
Thank you so much. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions on travel and expenditures? There's not any. Item 6 on the agenda is a report on current events and suggested future agenda items. Does anybody have anything they'd like to see after I leave office?
Wow, I didn't know we were going to be asked.
No, next month.
Okay, you're pushing it.
Well, I'm saying it.
Step,
So I'm saying for the August meeting, go ahead.
Step, you're pushing it.
Chair Stipp, I just have an acknowledgement I would like to give to Valley Metro's capital team. Laura Staley and Scott Loveland helped out a lot with the bus stops as we opened up the new facility in Avondale that our CEO referred to. So I wanted to just shout them out by name to make sure we acknowledge people who make things happen in the city of Avondale for us. So thank you very much. And thank you to your staff and team.
Woo-hoo.
Woohoo!
Awesome. All right, our next joint meeting, which will be my last, is June 20th at 11:15.
Felt like they were jumping the gun.
No, I started the farewell tour last month. So, all right, with that, we'll move right into the Valley Metro RPTA meeting. That begins with the consent agenda. Item 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, and 1E are presented for collective action. May I have a motion to approve?
Move item 1A through 1E.
Second.
A motion and a second by Vice Mayor Adams was the second. No one would miss who made the motion. Any discussion on the consent items?
Yes, thank you so much, Chair. I have a question on the consent item. Just taking a look here, I know that, and maybe I'm looking at the wrong agenda. Maybe I should have brought this for, yes, I probably should have brought it before, but I just want to make sure cities get access and have a login to the Swiftly program so that they can monitor as well. I think I hit the wrong agenda item. That's.
From the previous.
Sorry, it was consent there. I wrote up for consent on the second one. Just want to put it in the record though. Thank you.
It's not on this agenda. How do we want to address that? I'm going to look at Michael, I guess, from a legal perspective. Can we just do it under future current, make it a request?
That would be fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's do it at the end of the meeting.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarification.
So if there are no other questions on the consent agenda, got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, item 2 on the agenda is the Valley Metro RPTA fiscal year 2025 proposed operating and capital budget. This is for final adoption and approval. Should be noted that this is the month of May and not the month of June. So congratulations to everybody for bringing this one over the finish line. Ken?
Thank you, Chair, members of the board. I will be providing a very brief overview of the proposed 25 budget here today for your approval. Just want to start out by thanking Tyler and the budget team, all the Valley Metro staff and the executive team for all their work and efforts in compiling this budget and making the revisions along the way. Also want to thank your staff, the management committees, and the Audit and Finance Subcommittee for the input and feedback we received through the process, and allowed us to make some changes and some adjustments along the way. So really appreciate all those efforts, and really a overall team effort to get us here, as you mentioned, Chair, to May for approval, a month ahead of last year's process. So very positive and very great work by everybody involved. Do want to mention that this is a very brief overview. I'm going to present here today. In your packet is the full details of the budgets, as well as the 5-year forecast for operating and capital. Okay, I guess I got to turn this on. Okay, so just an overview of the operating budget for RPTA, $277.7 million budget for fiscal year 25. And then on the sources that fund the operating budget, the Public Transportation Fund, federal funds, and fares being the lion's share of the sources that fund that operating budget. And then on the capital side, fleet being the biggest use there, in addition to debt service for existing debt that we're about to exhaust next year. And then the source of funds that support that capital program, again, being primarily the public transportation funds and the fund balances or carry forwards and reserves of PTF funds, along with federal funds. And then just want to highlight the pass-throughs. Again, pass-through mostly from RPTA to VMR, but we also do have the Arizona Lottery funds that are passed through to member jurisdictions. So that's my quick overview, and here's the recommendation for board approval. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. I asked as we prepared the agenda for today that we not go through the entire, what we've been through the last 4 months.
Thank you.
So Ken did a great job in being very brief. So I will open the floor up for, actually, let me do no, we'll do questions. So does anybody have questions they'd like to ask? Is that you?
No, I'm gonna move the item. Oh, wow.
Okay, I do have one. I've heard from a couple of board members over the last couple of days regarding the $250,000 for bus advertising. That there is some concern regarding what it is we're going to try to accomplish, et cetera, and not just write a $250,000 blank check. So for transparency, I had a conversation with our CEO yesterday and asked that we consider putting kind of a caveat on that 250 for the bus advertising, that we ensure that that this is a coordinated effort to as we work to improve the bus system, the on-time reliability, the cleanliness, the safety, et cetera, all the things that are currently in our strategic plan. We don't have to finish them, but we at least show that we're coordinating that effort between improving the actual product that we're going to try to market, and then try to get kind of a detailed marketing effort that have measurables for the board that are kind of very specific beyond, okay, we're going to quote unquote increase ridership, or we're going to increase our social media likes by 10%. We need to have something a little bit more deliverable for this so that we can truly get the return on the investment that we're looking for as a board. So if we just ask that we in addition to adopting this, that we make that an ask of the CEO that we go through that. And that was from a couple of board members. So I don't know if anybody wants to have any discussion on that. If they like it, don't like it, want to tell the few board members to go.
No, I don't want to do that.
Councilmember Pastor, go ahead.
What I'm hearing is that you would like to see or bring back to the board what the marketing plan looks like. And how is that going to be coordinated and meet the strategic plan benchmarks in ways that we can see increase in ridership versus having us adopting a $250,000 budget and unaware of what the plan looks like or how we're increasing.
Correct. And I think the idea would be not to pull the item because that becomes counterproductive, but at least set it in there so that we have the budget authority and we have the ability to do it. And then just ask for the as they say, the receipts later and get what is the plan? How are we going to implement it? What are we going to do with that 250 and move forward? I think many of us would rather not see another water bottle and lanyard with that 250,000. We'd rather see some true, what can we get for it and what's the measurement? So that was the ask that I'm relaying. So if that's possible, as we go through, unless someone says that's a horrible idea, let's not do that. All right, seeing none. So with that, I will entertain a motion to approve the fiscal year 2025 proposed operating and capital budget and 5-year operating forecast and capital program FY 25 through 29 with the caveat on the 250,000.
I move item number 2
I second
with the caveat.
with the caveat.
Okay. Motion and a second. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, and congratulations. I think this is a huge moment for everybody. Yeah. Mayor Peterson and I have been through this battle and she's like, oh my God, we're doing this in May. So it's a big deal and I think we should recognize that. I think that goes to, shows Jessica's leadership and then it shows the response by the organization to really kind of rally around this and make this process better. So.
Chairman, can I just,
thank you.
yes,
Please.
I wanted to just add to that. I know we had discussion a minute ago, but I think this is past the motion and this is more discussion too. Thank you to Jessica and your leadership because as Councilmember Stipp said, we have seen many budgets come through here that we have asked and asked and asked for things over and over and over again. We are getting those things now from this team. And so we appreciate you and thank you for that. And thank you for listening. I think it makes it easier for all of us in the long run as you see us here in May approving this final budget. So congratulations to all of you and thank you for that. I think we feel comfortable leaving Valley Metro in a really great place when both of our terms are done. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Item 3 on the agenda is the election of fiscal year 25 board officers and subcommittee meeting members. This is really presented for our information, just to make us all aware that in June of each fiscal year, the RPTA elects board officers. In addition to electing members to 2 standing subcommittees of the board, the Joint Board Subcommittee and the Audit and Finance Subcommittee. The board and subcommittee members must be elected officials and participate on the respective subcommittees are limited to elected officials only. This is presented, you will see a memo from Pat, which will come out, I'm going to say shortly.
Chair, this memo is actually in the board packet today, but I will resend to include like your intergovs and your support staff.
So this process generally happens pretty quickly. So please read the memo because clearly I forgot it was in the packet. So please go through and review that and make sure that if that is of interest to you, that you work through that process. Item 4 on the agenda is report on current events and suggested future current agenda items. Councilmember White.
Thank you so much, Chair Stipp. I just wanted to, first of all, commend Jessica, your leadership team. everybody sits at the table with you, really comes and puts their hands to work. We really appreciate that. As we were looking at the Swiftly program, I think that it would be beneficial for, because a lot of times riders reach out to the cities where they have the issues in regards to on-time responses, in regards to accidents or anything else. So I was just wondering if we could take a look at giving the city transportation organizations access to Swiftly to possibly be able to check and see some of that information. I don't know if we need a full agenda item on it. I think that would be an intergov follow-up if possible.
I can actually answer it right now. Councilmember White, Mr. Chair, thank you for your question. Actually, today, the board has taken 2 actions to provide operational data, not just to Valley Metro staff, but to our member city staff. Swiftly is a software as a service, and we actually purchase it according to the number of assets, so the number of vehicles that we'll be monitoring. So the additional licenses or access is at no additional cost. We just need a list of names for city users who wish to access that tool. Swiftly is mostly monitoring our automated vehicle system as well as our SCADA, our rail control system. So where buses and trains are in real time. We're also working to put more data in the hands of not only our team, but our member cities. So there was an item, an initiative under advanced stakeholder collaboration in the budget that the board just advanced to purchase additional Tableau licenses to deliver to member city staff. So we appreciate your support of this item. We are making decisions based on our operational data. We're monitoring that information daily, weekly, monthly. We're sharing this information. We started this past year with our member cities via our monthly meetings or monthly sub-regional meetings of East Valley, West Valley, plus we have a Rail Cities meeting. So we are focused on performance and we are daylighting that performance for our city staff. Thank you, Councilmember.
Absolutely. Sunlight is the best sanitizer. Thank you. And you guys make sure we get those names over for the points of contacts in each of our representative areas to make sure they have access to see what they need.
Well, I think, given the low attendance at the last RTAG meeting, perhaps this is something that we get sent out to the staff to make sure that they're aware of it. And so that, no offense to my colleagues, but I know I'm terrible about telling people how to, about following back up with things. So if we can have it come both ways, I think that'd be helpful.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We will.
Great. If there are no further items.
Some
Yes.
good news, yes, some
Go
good
ahead.
news in the West Valley with ReRide. Just wanted to share that we achieved 100,000 riders throughout the system in April, and then Avondale alone got 50,000 riders. So we just want to celebrate WeRide's impact and thank Valley Metro for the support that they're showing to the West Valley, Avondale. Of course, I'm going to toot our horn, but I know that Goodyear and Surprise will really appreciate that type of support from Valley Metro. And we want to do what we can to make that last mile easier and avoid any type of service interruption. So thank you for doing that for our West Valley communities. We truly appreciate that. And I'm done, Chair Stitt. Thank you.
However, that brings me to, I think it's a great highlight to talk about microtransit as a transit option. It is not currently contemplated in Prop 479, but I think that there's a door that is kind of left ajar on that topic that this board and future boards are going to have to really kind of examine the viability, which we're, I think, demonstrating very clearly, the impact that we can have with a microtransit system that is not fixed route, that is not big bus, that is, smaller vehicles, more efficient. That we're really going to have to look at that as a modernization of public transit. So thanks for bringing that up. Okay, for the third time.
I have something, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like we were just celebrating, we were going to be done at 12:01 and, now it's 12:05. So, no, in all seriousness, our next meeting is still on June 20th at 11:15 for our PTA. And with that, I will adjourn this meeting and take a short break before VMR starts.
Send an email.
1 minute, 1 minute.
See, nobody listens.
We have 1 minute before we're going to start the VMR board meeting.
I'm here, Pat. Hello, can you hear me?
That makes sense, yeah. I left my lunch in the fridge.
Are we ready, Pat?
Hello, can you hear me?
You're gonna have to get everybody.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We are ready to start the Valley Metro Rail Board meeting. So if everyone could please take their seats and be ready to start the meeting. Thank you. You too.
All right, we are going to begin the VMR meeting and welcome members to the main meeting. Item number 1 is the consent agenda is presented for action. Items 1A through 1C. Are there any questions on any of the consent items that need to be pulled?
Motion to approve.
Okay,
Second.
we have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Those that disapprove, the ayes take it. Item number 2 is Valley Metro Rail fiscal year 2025 FY25 proposed operating and capital budget and the 5-year operating forecast and capital program, FY25 through FY29. Ken Kessler. Oh, I'm just going to go straight. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, we'll briefly just review the proposed budget for adoption today. VMR for FY25, the operating budget, a $97 million budget, $8 million increase, primarily driven by some security initiatives and the full year of Northwest Extension Phase 2 operations. And the funds supporting the operating budget, primarily member city contributions as well as fares. And then on the capital side, a $261.6 million budget for FY25. Large projects there being the completion of South Central and the capital extension project ramping up. And the sources that support the capital program, primarily federal funds along with public transportation funds and member city contributions. So that's an overview of the budget. Here's the recommendation. Happy to answer any questions if there are any before moving forward.
Are there any questions? No questions, Ken.
Motion to approve.
Oh, we have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? And
Second.
yeah, second, any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those not in favor? Ayes take it. Item number 3. Thank you, Ken. Election of FY25 board officers and subcommittee members. This item is being presented for information only. Board officers' elections will be held at the June board meeting. In your packet is a memo outlining what seats are available and when letters of interest are due. If you have any questions, please contact Pat. We now are at item number 4, where we will be entering the executive session.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Second, I give the second.
Yes,
There's-
second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor to go into exec session, please let me know. Ayes?
Aye.
Okay. I think. Okay. All those in favor, please say aye. Ayes. All those that are not opposed, please let me know. The ayes take it. We are now into exec session.
Councilmember or Vice Mayor Heredia, you have a separate link for executive session that you'll connect to.
There's someone else. I can't.
And Councilmember Littlefield, we are in the Valley Metro Rail Board meeting. If you'd like to, you can disconnect. So we're going to go next door.